Hey everyone, I'm Matt,
I'm Deanna.
and this is Chasing Balance. And in this episode, we're talking about why I don't have any friends. Okay, that was obviously a joke. I'll stop kidding around. I do have two friends, and that's you and my dog.
We're great friends.
You are great friends. Yes, the best. Yes.
If I don't say so myself.
So, really, in this episode, we're talking about the social life of parents and how it's changed from us being in our 20s, before having kids, all the way now to us being in our mid 30s to now, unfortunately, 40, um, and how
I'm not
our,
40.
huh?
I'm not 40 yet.
No, I am.
Oh, well, I just wanted to clarify that.
Well, and how it's changed since we've gotten older and since we've added new additions to our lives since we're in our 20s.
Yeah. Um, so I was thinking the other day and I was kind of doing some self-reflection on the whole entire social concept right now
Hmm.
and how how things have changed so much. When we first started dating about 20 years ago,
Yeah.
um,
God, that's a long time ago.
it
20
was.
years.
Yeah.
And I met you without even knowing it the first time we met or were in the same vicinity. We were skinny dipping
Yeah.
and didn't even know each other were there. So,
Didn't.
yeah.
We met twice, or we were in the vicinity of each other twice before even meeting each other,
Yeah.
which is crazy because we didn't even go to the same school district.
No, we
We
didn't.
were like 30 miles away from each other.
Yeah.
So the idea, I swear it's fate.
I
But
hope
anyway,
so. I mean, we're here.
we are. Um, so yeah, I was kind of thinking about that and how when we first started dating, we would go out like twice, 3 times a week, and we would be at the bars, and we would do a lot of your shows, and, I would work the door,
Yeah.
and I would take all the money, yeah, it was a lot of fun, and we had a good core group of friends at that point in time,
Yeah.
and then, obviously things kind of evolved once we had our first kiddo,
Right.
and we had to move away into a house that would accommodate a family.
Right.
Not just
A family, I remember that trying to find a house, the right price,
Yeah,
um, big enough, right school district, all
yeah,
that stuff. Yeah.
yeah, and
You start
remember
thinking about schools
yeah,
once you have your kid, like, we could afford a house anywhere really, probably even a bigger house if it was not in the same, city.
yeah,
And then, but you had to look at the schools.
yeah, and then we didn't even stay with that school district.
No, we didn't.
We ended up going 20 miles down the road to a
But
different
us,
one.
us building in that neighborhood, introduced us to our new neighbors, which were, young families just like us, just having their first or maybe their second kid was on the way. So we all, blended and meshed together.
Yeah, and we would hang out like every night in the summer. It
Mhm.
was like we would get done with work and we would go outside and we'd hang out in the street and all of our kids would just like hang out and we would do bonfires and it was
Yeah.
such an amazing point in time. And we just had like a kind of village and our kids were growing up together and it was magical.
Yeah.
But then, our family grew and we needed to get a bigger house and when we moved, we lost contact with a good population of those friends.
Mhm.
Hung on to some friendships, but mainly just one family in particular.
Right.
I would say. Um, but now time has kind of evolved, and the kids don't need me as much.
Don't
I
need
would
to
say.
supervise them as
Yeah,
much.
I don't
Yeah.
need to. Bedtime. I'm not required to be there.
Yeah.
It doesn't cause like a huge meltdown. So I'm trying to like put my toe out into the social life again.
Oh, I thought you
And
were talking about like, I thought you were going along the lines of how we kind of became friends with other people because, the kids weren't old enough to go out and play by themselves. So really the parents had to be out there
Yeah.
kind of playing with the other adults while the kids play. And now that the kids are getting older, you know, they don't need that supervision as much. They don't need two sets of adults there watching their kid,
Right.
making sure they don't fall or something. Right.
Yeah, and we're in the age bracket of where we can drop our kid off. Well, at least like Preston and Braden, the older ones,
Right.
we can drop them off at their friend's house and have a play date.
At the bar,
Yeah.
strip club, and they're fine. They call us when they when they run out of money or they need to come home.
On singles.
See if they take credit cards.
Venmo them.
Yeah.
No, but so they're in a different point in their growth, so they can go and hang out with friends that
Right.
of families that I trust, that I know,
Right.
and I feel comfortable with that. So it goes the opposite direction too. Like I can actually go out with friends and do stuff
Right.
without feeling extremely guilty. However, I still do. Um, I do.
Do you feel guilty when you go out and have a good time?
Sometimes I do,
Okay.
especially like if it's a rough day and I'm like, I know that it's going to be a rough day and I know it's going to be a rough night.
Yeah. Dad's got it. Don't worry about it.
I know. I know that you're very confident
Dad's got it.
competent.
Competent? Competent? Both.
Confident and
Yeah.
competent.
Okay.
So I kind of wanted to touch on that a little
Okay.
and how it's changed. And now that we're in this point where we're trying to establish relationships with other adults and how it's so different compared to when we were in high school or middle school
Yeah.
and like making friends. And
Let's be clear.
it's so
You're trying to make new relationships. Let that be known. She's trying to make new relationships.
you have no desire.
I'm straight.
Good. Yeah, no, but I mean, and even like us going out,
Yeah.
like we could go out on a date and we could go and like do stuff
Well,
without,
I also I was thinking about that when you started writing the show topic is that yeah, we don't have as big of a social life because of friends.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, because of kids. That's one thing. Our 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 friends
Yeah.
that we used to hang out with don't, they're off doing their own thing, which is completely understandable with their young families.
Hmm.
And then the ones that we were closest to as a neighbors, they went off and moved across the country,
Yeah.
right?
We can't really see them
But
like on a daily basis.
yeah, you and I though
Right.
had a better social life. At least you and I going out when we actually had people to help, right? We don't
Yeah.
have that help anymore. Like, obviously your dad passed away, my mom passed away. Like the two main
Yeah.
people that would really help us out are now gone. And
Yeah.
obviously babysitters and nannies were unbelievably hard
They were
to find a
such
good one.
a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
That was like an experience where I was just like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
I do
So
not want to trust
we literally
20-year-olds.
had a nanny that lived across the street and she
Oh
was
my
late
God.
15 to 45 minutes a day.
Like, did you run into traffic?
Yeah. Literally across the street. Like that's not an
Were the streets
exaggeration.
icy?
Yeah.
What's the
Insane.
problem?
So what I'm trying to get at is that I do think that you and I would have a better social life between you and I if we
Yeah.
actually had somebody that we could trust that that wants to take care of three kids for a few
Right.
hours. Right.
But it's crazy. Nobody wants to do
Right.
that. Nobody wants to be with three boys for
Yeah.
a long period of time. But anyway, I was thinking about that and I was just I don't know, like why is it so hard to just like go up to somebody and be like, "Hey,
Yeah.
I feel like we could hit it off.
Hmm.
Maybe let's be friends." I just
Yeah.
feel like such a weirdo saying that. And
Some
I did try that once.
and it did not work out.
It did not. It was so weird.
Tell
And
me
I
the
feel
story.
like it scarred
So
me.
you went up to her. Who
Yes.
is it? A sporting
Okay.
sporting event?
So let's break it down here.
Okay.
Okay. So there was a year where Braden was in soccer and That was weird. He's been in soccer forever. Okay, so there was a season in which Braden was in soccer,
Yeah.
and there was like a whole new group of kiddos, and he loved it. And the parents were like super awesome. And but there was this one mom in particular that I would like sit next to her at every game,
Yeah.
and she was just like my same type of humor, out there, funny. I really enjoyed it. So then the season wraps up and I was like, "Hey, I feel like we really hit it off. I
Right.
feel like we like really vibe.
Mhm.
Maybe we should hang out sometime."
Yeah.
And then she goes, she's like, "Find me on Facebook and then review my Facebook and let me know if you want to be friends with me." And I was like, "Okay." And I walked away and I was like,
Why
"That
did
was
she want you
fucking
to
weird."
review her Facebook?
I don't know.
Like to see if you guys,
Like if
like if
our
she's a certain,
political
yeah,
things align, because she said something political based, and I was like, that's a weird way to start and establish a conversation in which one I'm like,
that's strange.
hey, do you want to hang out? And then because I'm dumb, I go to her Facebook
Yeah.
and it's locked. I'm like, bitch, you could have just told me that you didn't want to talk to me ever again.
So it was private?
Yeah, it
Did
was
you friend
private.
her though?
No, because I
Well, you
thought
should
that
have
was
friended
weird.
her. That's probably what she was saying is friend me on Facebook. Maybe she was just saying friend me on Facebook so we can message on there and then not, I don't know. It's weird that she didn't exchange phone numbers. That's crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you put
So,
yourself out there.
yeah,
It didn't work out.
it didn't.
But then you did it again in the future during Preston's football,
Oh, yeah.
and
Well,
you've gotten a new friend out of that, right?
yes, I did. And that was, I feel like, I don't know. So the way that I'm very picky
With your friends.
with people
Maybe
in
that's your
general,
problem.
I feel like that's part of my
I don't have
problem.
any friends. I hate everyone. I don't know why they don't like me.
Well, and I don't know because it's like I can meet somebody and within 5 seconds, 5, 10 seconds,
Yeah.
I know whether I like them or I don't.
Yeah. What'd you think about me when you met me the first 5 seconds?
I literally, when I met you, I was there to meet, like I was set up on a blind date to meet your
Yeah,
friend.
but what do you think? What's your first 5 second impression of me when you first met me?
I looked at you both because you both were on the stage,
Yeah.
and I was like, no, thank you to the guy that I was supposed to like
Yeah.
be on a date with. And I was like, what is his story?
Yeah.
And then
We
our
won't we won't get
mutual
into my story at
yeah,
that time.
our mutual friend said he's off the table. And I was
Yeah.
like, that is not that's not gonna
That's not
work.
the case.
It's not gonna work.
Yeah.
But so obviously I liked you within the first 10 seconds.
Oh, I appreciate it. A tall,
Hey,
tall glass of water. Look at us now. We're
yeah,
famous on a podcast.
yeah,
You're
we're
welcome.
going places.
All right, go ahead.
So anyway, I mean, so I'm mentally weird where I just either
No, I mean you just get a vibe, right? Like
yeah,
you meet somebody and you just get a vibe off. But I get the same way, whether I become friends with them or not. But I can, I mean, from somebody at a clerk at a grocery store, from the guy that was working on our pool, like I could tell like I love the guy that was working on my pool. Like I could see hanging out with that
yeah,
guy. It doesn't matter. It's just there's a connection there just off of the vibes that they give off of the way that they portray themselves, they talk, their body language, their expressions to you. You can see they're comfortable with you, you're comfortable with them,
yeah,
and it could work out, right? So,
yeah,
yeah, I understand. You get that impression, and there's a lot of people that just rub you the wrong way off of jump.
yes. But I mean, the one friend in particular, we aligned pretty well right out the gate, and super funny. I like her company.
Yeah,
So yeah, that was a good connection that was made. But after that, I mean, I feel like I have certain buckets, right?
that they have to fill.
No, no, like different friend buckets.
Oh, I see. I
Like
wasn't sure if there's like different buckets. Like people have to fill these buckets, like our laundry. And if they don't do it right, they can't be your friend. Like if they don't do the laundry right way, they can't be your friend. But go ahead. So you have buckets of friend. I got it. I'm here all day, folks.
no, okay. So there's like the same schedule parents. we're
Yeah.
like we have the same schedule. Like our kids are on the same team. We see
Right.
each other, we vibe while we hang out, but it doesn't really go past that. Like
Mm.
we see each other once, twice a week from like practice and games or
Drop off.
yeah, drop
Yeah.
off, school parents and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then there's like the work friends,
Mhm.
that one person that you kind of connect with through the mess of,
Putting out fires.
yes.
Yeah.
Or
Understanding how everyone at work is an idiot except this
yeah,
one person, like you two.
the trauma based,
Right. Right.
companionship basically. And then like the lifelong friends, the friends that you've had since like high school that you can go years without talking and connect and go out to lunch and it's like no time has passed.
Right. Just pick up where you left off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, why does it have to be so challenging to like fill more people in those buckets?
It's kind of weird. It like there's almost like few phases that you go through in making friends, right? So there's that when you're a toddler, you're shy,
Yeah.
right? Then you get a little bit older and you're all outgoing and you just meet so many people and everyone's your friend. You're invited to all these birthday parties and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then you get into middle school and you get shy again.
Hmm.
And then you get into high school and you kind of just open up, everyone kind of just hangs out, right? And
Yeah.
then as you become a parent, you kind of get shut in again
Hmm.
because you've created your own family and you know what you know, it's right there, it's comfortable. And then when you go out again, when it's time to go out again, it's a whole new situation.
Yeah.
You're kind of nervous, you don't want to embarrass yourself.
Right.
I mean, this is how I look at things, or at least how I try to look at things, is that whether it's friends or trying to make friends or taking the kids to school and seeing other parents or taking them to football or soccer and seeing other parents or getting on a plane and your kid is acting crazy. I will never see these people probably again in my life. So if I don't connect with them, or if they think that I'm a bad parent, or if they're that judgy against me, knowing that they probably have their own flaws,
Hmm.
screw 'em.
Yeah. No,
That's what,
that's a good.
and I've told that to other people too that have young kids that are worried about getting on like a plane or something like that, like being embarrassed. And it's like,
Hmm.
you'll never see these people again in your life.
Yeah.
So, I
No,
mean, that's what I mean, if you're trying to make friends, I don't know why you're laughing.
I feel like this is just an episode of like encouraging me to
No, I
to
mean, this is for anyone. If you're trying to make friends and you're not trying to embarrass yourself, which in a way you're trying not to be your true self, are
yeah.
you going to be that way through you guys' entire relationship? I mean, it takes like usually when you meet somebody and you kind of connect with them,
Yeah.
it takes like one like stupid thing to happen where you guys both laugh at it
Yes.
and you realize like, hey, they're okay with me. I'm okay with them seeing me like this. This could be or is a good friendship,
Yeah.
right? So if they have a problem with you, then fuck them.
Yeah. And I do feel like that is the case with a lot of like the relationships that I have in that one bucket, the same schedule bucket,
Right,
you know, where it's parents that I know at school or
right,
parents that I know at soccer that I don't necessarily hang out afterwards. So I want to, or maybe I don't want to, but I essentially reserve myself a little bit
yeah.
and I make, put my best foot out there, censor myself in a way.
Well, yeah, everybody puts a guard up when they go out in public, right?
Yeah. But I mean, they don't know the authentic me. They
No,
don't know me, and how weird and crazy and hilarious I
you are pretty funny.
am.
But look what happens when you do open up and you do meet people and they do see your true personality. That's what I'm trying to say is that, if you're trying to impress somebody that's not going to like you for who you are, even if you guys do hang out
Yeah,
the first, second, third time you hang out, what the hell's the point?
it is. I don't know.
I'm not
And I
saying go into the school and be all crazy and start, spouting off of the mouth, swearing and learning the newest joke that's inappropriate,
right.
telling everybody that. But I mean, it's also be free with who you are,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
And I understand that's hard. I'm saying this and I don't do it. I always have a guard up, but I'm saying that someone is going out, to look for a friend, or someone is looking for other friends to hang out with, or looking to, broaden their horizon and growing their friend network. If they don't like you for who you are, why even fake it on the first, time that you meet them?
No, that's very true. And I mean, I don't want to blame anything, but I feel like social media doesn't help
No,
in
people are
that
assholes
regard.
on social media.
Well, the assholes, and then also like the fake life, you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
or even not just the fake life, like, oh, look at my perfect family and everything. And then you kind of aspire to do that. And then you need like certain types of things to fill those like,
And then you see them in person, they're slapping their kid, they have no makeup on. They look just like us, right?
yes, perfect.
So,
Um,
and that's the same thing. They're just doing it on social media. They're putting a guard up. They're showing something
yeah,
that they really aren't. I mean, that's not. I mean, that's also the reason for this podcast, right? Like,
right.
we're not hiding anything. We're letting you guys know everything that is wrong with
Mhm.
us.
Losers.
We are insane, um, and we're being open and honest. Like,
And then, like, kind of switching gears a little, FOMO comes in to play also.
fear of missing out with other people.
Yes.
Yeah,
So it's like, you see other people enjoying their life and with like groups of people, and then you're just kind of like, oh.
like other couples going on vacation with
Yeah,
other families.
exactly.
Yeah,
And then other couples going out to on like dates, like group dates and everything. And
we did
and
that with the
yeah.
Schultzes. We went out to Utah.
And maybe that's why it kind of hits me different is because we had that and it's
It
like
was a lot of fun.
it was so much fun and
Yeah,
I loved it and we would go to concerts and like it was the best.
right.
They're the best.
Yeah,
But anyway, it's that plays into the whole entire element
yeah,
of it. But I mean, I guess I just really need to get to the point where I can be okay with the way that not saying that I'm not okay with the way that everything has evolved, but being okay and letting it like sit inside of me and be okay with it being okay. And essentially just finding a good balance between how our present parent life is and also maintaining friendships, whether they be like the lifelong friendships or the new friendships and
yeah,
that kind of stuff. And like it's like that tricky balance because we've spent so much of our life now
right.
being in that parent bubble
Mhm.
where we do everything and anything for them. And now I'm dipping my toes back into the social worlds.
Right.
And because even when I go out and do something, whether it be by myself or like with a girlfriend or something like that, I do still feel that guilt, even though I know that you are fully competent to maintain the home base.
Yeah.
But I
Feel
guess
guilt about going out and having fun.
yes.
Okay.
And that shouldn't obviously be there. Like I
No,
shouldn't feel guilty, nor should you if you went out and did something,
I'm not going
anything.
out.
Even if it's just like drive down the street, park, and like just get away from
Just
us.
scream. Just
Yes.
scream into the dark night. I'll do that one
Go
day.
down to the farm, pet the horses,
Yeah,
traumatize them.
yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah. So is screaming into the
Sitting there,
woods.
sitting on a horse bareback, crying, just petting it.
We'll see like on our Facebook, our neighborhood Facebook, there's that weird guy
Why
out
is
at
he
the farm
naked?
again.
Anyways,
God. So anyway, um, landing my plane.
yeah.
Um, I think that it's important, and for me and for everybody else out there that might be in the same road as me, where they're just starting to dip their toes back into the social world
Hmm.
to kind of get some perspective and set your tone and what you want that to look like. And scheduling intentional social time
Yeah,
out there. So like setting aside time for yourself and also time for your core group of people or even like putting yourself out there to get your core group of people.
You gotta go out. You get insane if you don't. If you're surrounded by just little people all the time,
Yes.
you just start singing Mickey Mouse Clubhouse,
Yeah.
the entire day or something like that.
Seriously, no.
Yeah.
I mean, on a serious note, if I don't talk to another human,
I'm here. Hello.
I know, but you don't count.
Oh,
You're like an extension of me.
I'm one of the little people.
So if
Got it.
I don't talk to another human,
Yeah.
when I do talk to them, it's so awkward. It's like I am so weird.
Because you just forgot how to communicate with an
Yes,
adult.
essentially, yes. And then I'm just like, man, they're
Who am
never
I?
going to talk to me again.
But it shouldn't be that weird. I mean, you talk to me, I know I can be immature sometimes. You talk to me, you talk to people at work.
I do. But I'm also the type of person that will think and nitpick every single thing that they've said throughout the day and just like cringe at the weird things, even though they're not that weird.
Yeah.
They could not be that weird. Like there are times where I like reflect on my daily activities and what I've said,
Yeah.
and I'm like, that is weird. And then I think about more. I'm like, it's not that weird. And then I circle back. I'm like, that was fucking weird.
I am going insane. Someone get me a drink.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh man. But anyway, setting intentional social time.
Mhm.
And whether it be date nights with your, significant other
Yeah.
or friends hanging out or even virtual catch ups, I feel like those are essential, the first step in dipping your toe.
Like a Zoom.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
no, I
Or
mean, any
FaceTime
of
or
those
something like that.
things.
Yeah.
Just like setting aside that time so that you can disconnect from the little people
Yeah.
and join the big people.
Yeah.
Get to the big people's table.
Yeah. Don't sit at the kids' table
Yeah,
anymore. Yeah.
exactly. And then, I mean, you could even like get creative and do like lunch meetings while the kids are at school if
Yeah.
you are at work, and then just like set aside some time with that friend, and whether you guys work in the same vicinity and like just meet up at a restaurant, or even if it's after bedtime, or and you just do like a FaceTime
Now, do you wonder if
call.
some of this stuff falls apart when you meet a new friend, or even if it's an old friend from high school? Do you think some of the stuff falls apart because once again we're still trying to find that balance, right?
Yeah.
Um, you're still chasing that balance. Heyo. Um,
You said
I said it. There it is. Um, because maybe when you meet someone, you want to go out, you have to start planning.
it. Yeah.
You're already sick of the planning the stuff for your kids. You already had a full day of planning stuff at work. Maybe that's where some of it falls apart, and not etching out that time.
Yeah.
And maybe there even needs to be a little bit of time that's etched out just for planning something for yourself.
There are times where I'll be talking with a girlfriend and we're trying to figure out a date,
Yeah.
and I will literally want to just take a screenshot of my calendar and send it and just be like, hey.
Just invite them to your calendar
Yes.
and say, hey, be my secretary for like one moment and fill in a date for yourself.
Yes.
This is what I have available.
But I know that
Right.
would not be ideal.
No. No.
But that part is a pain in the ass, just like scheduling, because that's all you do as a parent is just schedule.
Yeah.
And then now you want to do it so that you can have some free fun
And
time.
whose schedule comes first?
Them.
Yeah, the
It's
kids comes
always
first.
them.
So you're scheduling everything around them.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
It's very exhausting.
Yeah.
But I will
Who
say,
told us to have kids?
somebody, somebody, I don't know. But I mean, and the other part of it is, so those are the key points that I kind of want to drill down for
Yeah.
anybody that's out there in the same bubble as me. And
You're gonna
then
put your phone number out there now for anybody that wants a new friend.
anybody wants to be my friend.
Help.
This is basically just my
Yeah.
social ad.
Yeah. She's gonna give out her number. It'll be in the description of the show. I'll be at the horse farm.
Bareback.
Yeah, bareback crying on a horse. All right.
But then also the other part is I feel like we, and just like as a society, we just have so much guilt about holding on to friendships, whether they, long friendships,
Mm.
because you've known this person forever,
Yeah.
and maybe that person no longer fits that mold,
Yeah.
and that you've evolved, and that maybe they haven't evolved.
Mhm.
And I think that getting to the point of reflecting on what's important to you and the amount of time that you put into
Trying to make plans with them.
trying to make plans,
Yeah.
um, you have to kind of take a second and think, like, is it okay to put myself first?
And
And is this friendship no longer serving me?
it's no, and in essence, it's nobody's fault.
It
Like I
isn't.
said, just like all of our neighbors that we all lived together, we
Yeah,
all grew our families. We all got new jobs, or we all needed to get a bigger house. We had other opportunities come up,
yeah.
and it's nobody's fault. Life just goes on.
Right. And it's like just being okay with the fact that you can say goodbye to some friendships
Yeah.
because there's plenty of other people out there
Right.
and that you can be friends with. And
Yeah.
I will say that, I mean, me as I've evolved and I've changed over the years, I was the first to have kids
Right.
within my friend group.
Hmm.
And I have one lifelong friend who, would come over and hang out with Preston.
Yeah.
But I think I saw her maybe like once or twice. And I knew inside my heart, like, okay, she's not on the same page right now.
Right.
Yeah,
She's a
she's in
different
her
part of her life right
20s.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's enjoying it.
Yeah.
And then, she eventually got married and
Yeah.
then she eventually had kids.
Hmm.
And then we reconnected at that because we aligned better at that point in time.
Right.
And now we're in that stupid freaking thing where it's
Planning.
so hard to plan to see each other.
Yep.
And granted, I mean, we have 45 minutes in between each other.
Hmm.
So there's the distance, then there's, the time and everything. But those are the kind of friendships where it's like, I, that does serve a purpose
Right.
because they are important to me. Um, so I wouldn't necessarily cut that out of my life.
Yeah.
It just doesn't align right
Right now.
now.
Yeah.
And being okay with the fact that it doesn't align right now. Because
You
if you
guys,
force anything, it doesn't
it could be you guys could
serve.
connect next week.
Yeah.
It could be that you guys connect when you're 80 years old and you guys are playing shuffleboard in
Yes.
Naples, right?
Yeah. And just knitting in
Yeah,
a rocker.
exactly.
Yes, exactly. So I hope this was helpful for everybody.
Yeah,
Or
we hope that
or at
maybe
least
we're just the
entertainment.
only maybe we're just the only ones going through this.
I
Um,
don't think we are. I
yeah,
don't. At the least, maybe it gives you a little bit of entertainment.
yeah.
But
We'll take pictures of me on that horse.
yes, that'll be the cover.
Yeah. If you sign up for our mailing list, that'll you can go ahead and uh, get that picture from me.
Yeah. So the main part is, I think that we all just need to realize that all the people that are in this bubble along with me, that our social life isn't dead. It's
No,
just different.
yeah,
And that's okay. And be okay with it being okay.
mm.
And be kind to yourself because you're all just beautiful unicorns.
Yes, we are. And this beautiful unicorn, if I have any closing points on this, is just stop trying to impress everybody. Be yourself.
Be that unicorn.
Yeah. You're not going to be happy if you're not yourself. You're not going to be happy in a friendship, relationship, whatever it is, if you're just faking it the whole time.
Yeah.
So it'll come to you. Um, and I know that we're not the only ones in this. I know I'm joking about it, but I know we're not the only ones in this. Friendships will come along, they'll come, they'll leave, more will come in, you'll reconnect, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, just be yourself, stay true to yourself. And if anybody has a problem with it,
Okay.
fuck them, you know? So uh, we're going to close this off with that our podcast is now on all of the streaming platforms.
Whoop, whoop.
We appreciate everyone that has downloaded it so far and subscribed. We do have YouTube Shorts out there. Um, if anybody ever wants to send us an email with their stories, our email address is info@chasingbalance.info. So pretty easy. Or you can hit us up on any of our social media pages, which is Chasing Balance Podcast. We appreciate everybody listening. Um, and for following the show. And once again, yeah, please send us your comments if you have anything, any stories, any tips or tricks you have about making new friends or getting through this kind of a little bit
I
of
would
a,
love to hear them.
yeah,
Yes. Any tips, any tricks,
yeah,
any stories. Give them to me.
yeah. We need friends. We're hiring.
I accept all resumes.
Yes. So
12.5.
this is Chasing Balance. Once again, thank you for listening.
Real life parenting, one conversation at a time.
We'll see you guys later.
Bye.